it's time to stake the tomatoes. They have gotten big enough and they are starting to get unruly. We want to prevent them from getting unruly, and we also want to prevent them from getting broken during a storm. So in order to stake them, you just drive a stake right in there. And you want to do it as close to the tomato stalk as possible. And then you're going to want to take a look at your tomato. So I grow heirloom tomatoes, and they're indeterminate tomatoes, meaning they don't grow on a perfect straight stalk. They're going to want to try to branch out and create this like shrub almost. Tomatoes do best if they grow straight. So what you want to do is you want to break off any extra side shoots that are starting to form, especially at the base, because the base, you don't want any leaves kind of hanging out on the ground. What that does is it leads itself to be prone to more fungal infection. And tomatoes are very prone to something called blight. Blight happens when it's very humid, when there's like periods of real dry and humid and back and forth, and that's basically where we live. In Buffalo, New York, we got lots of humid, lots of dry snaps, lots of really wet snaps. It's been very wet here lately, but right now it's pretty hot. So we're going to kind of break past all these extra ones so that we can see just the central stalk right here. And then I'm going to take my twine and make sure I tie it up tight, kind of pull it almost even, so that it's leaning up against the stake. And what you're going to do is you're going to do this every foot or so of growth, because you really want to be out here making sure that the tomato is growing strong and straight. And the only way to do that is if you come out here and prune it regularly. It's already starting to give a little flower up here, and that's great, but I also want to make sure that I don't let it bush out in too many different paths. You can see that's happening in this plant over here. It's got a whole bunch of mess going on down here. So I'm just going to kind of trim all this away. I can see the center stalk. It's this one right here. I'm going to break all this other stuff right off and prevent them from happening. It's going to make the plant look kind of naked at first, but it is what's better for it, because then the plant can choose a path of growth and it'll produce better plants for you. Again, side shoot plant, break it off. And this is our effort to try to train our tomato to try to just put in good energy, as you can see. And there, now we have found the center stalk here of this plant, and that's where I'm going to tie it up here. That's how you stake the tomato.